Welcome to the big corner of 75 and 121 at Nissan and McKinney Buick GMC. I'm Chris Godwin and I'm on the roof trying to bring awareness to the North Texas heat and also sell a few cars while I'm at it. Most importantly, I'm having people visit me on the roof that may be able to help protect yourself or someone in your family from the North Texas heat. And I have Michael Gandy here, and Michael Gandy is with Baby Guard for Dallas-Fort Worth. And his website is poolfencetexas.com. Let me tell you a little bit about Baby Guard. Baby Guard is a pool fence pool fence company of DFW, the North Texas distributor for the world's leading manufacturer of safety pool fences, and the original guard company, Baby Guard. Pool fence is designed with child safety in mind. It is the strongest and safest, most attractive pool fence system in the market. So tell me a little bit more about what your company does and how you can protect pool owners.
Well, first I want to thank you for having us up and helping us raise awareness of in water safety generally, but specifically pool safety. We've been doing this about 10 years now, and it's very rewarding work. We're helping families that basically have small children. And unfortunately, drowning for children under 5, it's the #1 killer. And so my wife and I felt like this was something that we wanted to take on, that it's a death that can be totally preventable. And so we set up our website, we do all of our advertising to help raise awareness on this very serious issue.
Yeah, I saw that. I actually went online and saw there's a page there, and what's that page called? It's
Water Safety.
Water Safety, but it's the page is called something I couldn't remember, like a family page, or you call it something?
Oh, it's called a Good Neighbor page.
Good Neighbor page.
That's what Google calls it.
The Good Neighbor page, which could give you more information. What do people need to know about pool safety and how it concerns them?
Well, the statistics are daunting. Over 69% of children drownings are children that are in their own home. So a lot of people think, well, it's the neighbor kid that gets into my pool that drowns, or they drown at lakes or public pools, things like that, when in reality it's just the opposite. So that's where I think we come in, our companies like ours that can help you identify the risk. We can certainly help with different layout options to make sure that we get a good, safe solution. And then what separates Baby Guard is the fact that we offer some different grades of mesh and some color options to make it a little more appealing. I accepted a long time ago that people really don't want us there. They spend a lot of money on their pools, and they have a certain look that they're proud of, and their perception is that the fencing can take away from them. And my wife and I help them understand that we have to solve the problem. We have to solve the fact that children can be injured at the very least, and it can be a little more serious than that, and that we can help them minimize the impact on the living environment.
Well, what I find ironic is that most people would be concerned about the look of the fence around the pool, but I think if you asked a family who's lost a child that possibly was thinking about it but said, no, I don't want to have that because it's not aesthetically appealing, I think that they would probably do something different this time around.
There's no question about it, and it's still mind-boggling to me that every appointment that we make should ultimately end up in a pool fence being installed, but that's still not the case. Now, there are other things that families can do. It's not just the pool fencing that, although we think that's the best solution, it's not the only solution. You can do things to the home. The alarm systems that chirp when you open a window or door are excellent. Putting locks up fairly high on your back door or in front door are also helpful. But Florida, where it's a state law, they recognize that you have to have that last line of defense, and that's what the pool fencing provides.
Really, it's state law in Florida. Well, that just tells you how important it is to some people, and how important it should be to anybody with a small child. What would you recommend? Up to what age, or is there an age, or is it more where you feel comfortable that they can swim on their own?
That's a great question, Chris. And what it really boils down to is every child is different. I think that there's a couple of things that every parent should do. They need to teach the children how to swim. They also need to recognize the exhibited behavior, is what we call it with children. If you have a 3-year-old boy who's fearless, obviously that child needs a fence up longer. If you have a child who has shown a fascination with the water, then that child also needs to have a fence up a little longer. In Florida, the law is over 9 months, under 5 years, that you have to have the primary barrier up. So that's a good guideline, but then beyond that, I think, again, every child is different, and we want to make sure that at least the child has developed a sense of consequence, so that they understand that bad things can happen. So we used to jokingly tell parents that they should keep the fence up until the children are old enough to take it down, which means teenagers, but more often than not, it's 6, 7 years old.
Well, from all the things you're telling me, it sounds like you're not just trying to sell fences, that you're very enthusiastic about making sure that you save lives as well. And a lot of people promote their businesses but don't realize that what they're doing or what kind of work they're doing, how it affects so many people. So it's kind of interesting and rewarding to hear you say that, hey, there's other things you can do. If you don't want to buy a fence, that's okay, but there are other things you can do to call you up, ask you, and you'll try to help in any way you can.
That's exactly true. And in fact, as I mentioned, we started out baby-proofing homes and teaching CPR. So I'm a big believer in layers of security. So these fences aren't cheap, and I recognize that. And as I say, there's also this inertia that falls in place where parents and husbands in particular say, you know, it's maybe we can wait, honey. You know, they're so little right now. We can give it another year. So I make a point of talking over other options with every family that we meet.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And you had mentioned baby proofing. Does your company still do that?
No, we are part of an international association of child safety consultants, and years ago we had one of our members that was our warehouse for us, so we could buy professional grade products at volume and get better pricing on it and then install it for people. But with cordless drills and dads taking on these projects and the how-to guides that you can get on the internet, a lot of dads have taken that on themselves. So we've focused on our core fencing.
Yeah, your core business. Well, is there anything else you would like to tell us about your company or organization?
Just that we're available for estimates. They are free, and we do encourage folks to give us a call whenever they have a question. I mean, it doesn't require us to come out and give an estimate. We can go over options at the very minimum on the phone, or they can email me at michael@poolfencetexas.com, and we'll answer their questions there. We don't have to be intrusive into your home to get you some answers.
Well, I appreciate it. You just heard from Michael Gandy, and let me give you the email address one more time.
Michael, MICHAEL @poolfencetexas.com.
At poolfencetexas.com, and then you have your website, which is www.poolfencetexas.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Look at our 24/7 live webcast at getchrisdown.com. We are bringing awareness to the North Texas heat and how you can take care of yourself with heat-related issues. So look online every day at nissanandmckinney.com or mckinneybuickgmc.com. Come out and see us. We got daily specials. We'd love to hear from you. Go online, watch again the 24/7 live webcast at getchrisdown.com.